Good afternoon to you. Mark Sutton with HurricaneTrack.com here. Hurricane Outlook and discussion time. It is September 16th, 2020. I am in Gulfport, Mississippi. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, this is just incredible what we've just seen. A strengthening hurricane once again at landfall with Hurricane Sally, making landfall almost 16 years to the day and to the hour. I mean, it only missed it by a little bit and just about a few miles away from where Hurricane Ivan in 2004 made landfall in the Gulf Shores, Alabama area. Remarkable event, a lot of people impacted, a lot of people, I think, taken by surprise. I know I was when they intensify like that right before making landfall after kind of looking disheveled yesterday. You know, when they go in right before landfall and just tighten up, wow, that's amazing. So let me try to put together some semblance of an update here. And show you what's going on. This is the wide shot, and you can see over here, over the deep south, there is Sally, invest area 90L, which we really have to watch that. We got to watch Teddy out here, and the rest of the tropics, really nothing to worry about for the time being. This is the leftover energy from Paulette. All right, so that's the wide picture, gives you the sort of the broad picture of what's happening. And we are in a La Nina now officially. NOAA has declared that this cool area of sea surface temperatures, these anomalies, these cold departures from normal, we are now officially in a La Nina pattern, and the Atlantic basin still warmer than average, especially over here in the western Atlantic. A good deal of the main development region is warm as well. This is the cold wake left behind from Paulette. Just so you know, and then right through here we're going to see a pretty good cold wake show up eventually in the wake of Sally. So the cyclones are starting to take the heat out of the oceans right now, kind of dissipating some of that upper ocean heat content, but we have a long way to go. It's only mid-September, and we saw how busy things have been. I think we're going to continue to see busyness. I believe strongly we're going to get Wilfred developing in the western Gulf of Mexico, and there's a chance for another impactful event for the Gulf Coast. I don't know where exactly. We're going to have to definitely watch this, all right? So let me just go through what we know, and, you know, we'll take this one day at a time. I'm tired. I'm, like, you know, running out of adrenaline here. It's good. It's all good. You know, working hard. Got a great group of people supporting me, but, man, it's starting to get exhausting, and, anyway, so this is the vorticity. So you see lots of energy out there. We'll highlight this in black. Little piece of energy here. System here. That's Vicky. Here's Teddy. Small piece of energy there. Another one there. This is the energy associated with Sally. And here's the energy that's eventually, I think, going to be Wilfred. And then here is the energy associated with Paulette. These vorticity signatures spin in the atmosphere. Lots of it out there. The Atlantic basin, very, very busy. Even the accumulated cyclone energy score, the A score, now going up pretty steadily, above 75, I believe, is the number right now, for what it's worth. All right, so looking at a visible close-up here of Sally over the deep south, having made landfall in the wee hours of the morning, very close to Gulf Shores, Alabama. By the way, we did have and still do have a pressure sensor inside the camera box that we set up at Gulf Shores yesterday. Big thanks to the Gulf Shores Police Department and one of the people that I know there. I'm not going to call out his name right now just to, you know, make sure it's okay with him. He knows who he is, for allowing us to, Mike and myself, to go down there and set up the camera system. We went over to Fort Morgan after that. Unfortunately, the Fort Morgan camera went out, and we don't know why. If it was a network problem, maybe something, who knows, maybe I didn't plug something in. I mean, this isn't infallible, you know, stuff happens. But we did not ever see a surge from the Gulf of Mexico come in to the area of Gulf Shores. It was at the Pavilion or Fort Morgan or Dauphin Island. It was, you know, some overwash, as we call it. But the significant surge was in the right front quadrant of where Sally made landfall. Sally came in across this way, and it was this right front quadrant area, Orange Beach, over to Pensacola through the Escambia Bay, You've seen it. The storm surge was very significant as Sally intensified very quickly, and I don't know why exactly that it ramped up to Category 2 all of a sudden. Air pressure getting down to 965 according to recon, and excuse me, then being tired, according to National Hurricane Center reports. So that's why it's 965 millibars. That's why it's going to be real important that we go back probably Friday and pick up the camera box with the pressure sensor in it from Gulf Shores. I'll be working with the police department on that. The guy knows where it is. It's all good. Everything's fine. It's locked down. We're going to go get it. It's cool. But it was right there, as close to the Gulf of Mexico as you can possibly get. And so I'm excited to capture that right near the very center of Hurricane Sally as it made landfall. So you see on this weathernerds.org site that this satellite image is coming from, this loop, lots and lots of watches and warnings that go on throughout the area. And I can show you that on a different perspective here. And this will give you an idea of what to expect inland. All right, so, a good deal of interior Alabama, Georgia, up into the Carolinas, and parts of Virginia. This is your tropical storm 2. Sally was a hurricane. This was your hurricane 2. This is the big slug of moisture that came in here. That's all going to work its way up through this area, and it's going to bring a lot of heavy rain. And we're going to see small stream, urban flooding, etc. We've seen that a lot down here. Mike Farrow and I out and about this morning. Tremendous amount of flooding. The rivers. I'm working on a time lapse that I'm going to show you. I'll show you a clip in just a minute. The freshwater flooding from this, absolutely catastrophic in some places. And this is going to continue for the next several days. So please keep that in mind as we go forward. All right. This will work its way in through the deep south. So Alabama, Georgia, the Carolinas, this is your storm too. Weather.gov, weather.gov, your local information. Check it out there, your reliable sources. I think about Brad Panovich up in Charlotte. I don't really know of anybody in the Atlanta area besides the Weather Channel. I've got some friends there, of course. That's a national level, and they do a great job. But the local information, tune into those that you trust locally, all right? And weather.gov, weather.gov, put in your zip code, and there'll be a lot of good information there for you as this moves through the threat of severe weather, tornadoes, etc. Unfortunately, that cannot be ruled out. And we look on the high-resolution radar here, and you can see the extent of Sally's impacts here. And when these bands come in, these are the bands that can produce very, very heavy rainfall and the occasional tornado. And all of this moisture here, this whole area is just going to move in across parts of the southeast over the next couple of days. The wind will die down, but a tremendous amount of rain coming. We see up towards Montgomery, Alabama, I-65 riding on up, I-65, I-85 out of Montgomery towards Atlanta. Again, southwest Alabama, Georgia, southeast Alabama, southwest Georgia. My point is, a lot of people are going to be impacted by this. Some of these streams and creeks are going to rise overnight as well, and that can make things very, very dangerous. We can see this outlined extremely well here on the assessment here, the outlook from the Weather Prediction Center. High risk, it's rare to see that, and here it is, moderate to slight in the yellow and orange or the red. Just do not discount flooding. You can say, flooding, who cares? They talk about rain. If it's not a hurricane, I don't care. No, I'll show you. If you don't know, I'll show you. So we put a weather station, a fully functional weather station with an R.M. Young anemometer on the bridge that goes out to Dauphin Island, and it functioned perfectly. I'm just going to show you a sample of it. This is from this overnight hours. So if it says 4:49, that would be Eastern time. So this is 3:49 Central time, and this is just to give you an example. The 1 minute average wind was 72.8. The peak gust for that minute was 88.5. Then you have a 91, a 92, 92, 95, 95. So look at this minute right here. We actually had hurricane force sustained wind. The 1 minute average wind there, as you can see, 74 miles per hour, gusting to 95, almost 96. I mean, and then 73 miles per hour. So this 2 minute period right here, and then you can even look back to, let's just go to 4 a.m. Central and go back to 10 minutes or so, about right here. It looks like it skipped some time there. That's fine. But this is a period of time where there was a tremendous amount of wind. So we're going to graph this and chart it. That's my iPhone over there beeping. We're going to graph it and chart it and show it to you. But the wind data that we collected, real good effort by all of us. There was 4 of us that helped out on this particular day. And this was located again down on the bridge that goes over to Dauphin Island. And I can't wait to show you this in graphic format. All right. I hate to do it, but we got to talk about the future here. And look at all the energy out here, even a non-tropical low-pressure area over here in the Northeast Atlantic. That's the leftover vorticity signature. This is the Euro, by the way. The GFS, not the Euro. This is the GFS, 850 millibar level. Some energy here. I already showed you that. Some there, here. There's Sally, and here's the system down in the Bay of Campeche, Southwest Gulf of Mexico. So let's just kind of move this out into time. You see Sally, the energy moves across the deep south, kind of stretches out. And then more of this energy down in the Gulf starts to try to combine for this large area of energy right here, the vorticity. That tries to get its act together, and it focuses here at about 78, 84 hours or so. I think that's too fast. It just kind of jumps in there. You see that? I'll take the telestration away. The bottom line, though, we got to watch this carefully. Something could try to develop in the Gulf and impact people, right? Oil interest in the open Gulf. And then I know you're noticing what's going on there with Teddy. We go back, and Teddy makes that hard turn there and kind of stalls. And what's really curious about this is it stalls south of a pretty good area of high pressure here. And so does it come in and stall earlier? I mean, come on. But again, I'll say this, at the very least, swells are going to come out and head towards the East Coast, down towards the Caribbean. Bermuda that just got hit by Paulette. You're going to have to watch this. Teddy goes on around day 7. Oh, I'm tired. It just mills around there. We'll just have to see. It's so far out. We have plenty to talk about, plenty to watch. And here's what I want to show you just real quick. This is the Perdido River. And we set a camera up yesterday. And here it is this morning, right after daybreak. And the water had already come up. The normal river level is, the river is back here. The Perdido River, that's back there. So this is all flooded. And this is like a little RV park area, boat launch. All right, so that was just after sunrise. So then we go to later on in the day. All right, this is about 9:30 or so, 8:30 to 9:30, somewhere around there, and the flood water is moving around another hour. And it really is coming up, and this is what we're talking about. I mean, look, back in the distance here, that's the river back there. It's spilling out, flooding. The camera is actually mounted on a tree. You can see the tree branches there. And the camera was 12 feet roughly above the ground. And the river is forecast to crest over 27 feet. So it's come up quite a bit. This is even later in the day. Water keeps coming up. And, that's from Isaias, sorry. Water level comes up. I can kind of time lapse it for you. Look at all the stuff that floats in. Yuck. It's actually floating around, then it goes out into the river because the water is reaching it up on the higher ground. What is that? Trash floating by? Anyway, this is the reason why we say, I better finish. This is the reason why we say you got to take all the threats from tropical cyclones seriously. I got to sign off before my battery dies. I'll have more for you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. And for all of your support. I am Mark Sept with HurricaneTrack.com. I have another video update for you tomorrow morning.